Hello internet, hope everyone is doing well, and today I only have one thing to announce, and it's that a surprise family trip popped up and I will be away from my computer unfortunately till Tuesday morning, but I will make up for it probably Wednesday with some extra content, and this will probably be, well, not probably, I see like 20 to 30 posts open, but it will be a longer video, so I hope that is enough of an apology. But right now, let's talk about the subreddit. So we have the subreddit r/tLiberalsSay, and as you would expect, this isn't some moderate or even close to right-leaning subreddit that's making fun of the neoliberal progressives of the modern day. This subreddit is full of far-left communists and socialists, self-proclaimed, by the way. It's not just me calling everything I don't like communist. And one of the quirks about this subreddit is that they constantly talk about Gaza, and I am not kidding, being better than Nazis. I know, the bar is pretty high with these people, and although they are equally as retarded as liberals in a lot of ways, at least they can also see the holes and flaws in our modern liberal society. And let me tell you something, this was actually one of the funniest subreddits I've been on the channel, and without spoilers, let's get right to the posts. Alright, so here we are, and before you call me a liar, this is a communist subreddit for satirizing liberals. I was not kidding, guys. From a far left perspective, it is all self-proclaimed. This is not me dunking on them, this is just what they say. Liberalism is the ideology of capitalism, free markets, representative democracy, legal rights, and state monopoly on violence. It includes a large portion of the present-day political spectrum, from the center-left social democrats to the far-right conservatives and American libertarians. When it comes to liberals, we don't discriminate between tendencies. We satirize all of them equally. 186,000, and I'm surprised this says only members and not like, I don't know, you guys know, we've seen subreddits where they like have comrades or whatever here, but I'm surprised they didn't change this. But other than that, if you guys want to read this up here, you can pause it now and I will let you do that, but let's just get right to the posts. North Korean store so scary. A department store in North Korea. Something feels off, but I can't pinpoint it. A just typical shop. If it was any other Asian country, they'd be lapping it up. I hate Orientalism. Wait, I thought Oriental was like a racist term or something. I remember putting Oriental instead of Mongoloid in my forensic science class when they were talking about like the skull shape of one of the victims. And the teacher was like, you can't use the term Oriental, it's racist. And I was like, oh, okay, so we can use Mongoloid, but you know, I don't care either way, but it was just so funny hearing them, Oriental sounds like ornamental, and I kind of like that as a half Korean, so I know that's completely irrelevant, but anyway. So if you guys have accumulated more than 3 brain cells, you would know that this is very clearly propaganda and that North Korea does this all the time, where they set up these, prop shops essentially that basically says, look at all of, look how clean our stores are, look at how much food we have, right? But the funny thing is, you never actually see anybody shop in these stores, and it doesn't look like anyone would be shopping in these stores. I can't even, where's the actual like produce or anything? These all just look like snacks or something. And you could say like, I guess the store is bigger or something like behind here. But if you've ever just searched up like North Korean documentaries, you would know that a lot of this is just like for show. If we look at other clean, quote-unquote, grocery stores, you can see that it's not perfect. It's not going to be perfect if it's actually being used on a consistent basis. And also, who are you trying to impress? Like, actually, like, you have a store that's clean, I guess? I mean, no one's used it. It's very obvious. Maybe so few people buy so little food that it's easy to maintain, and that's probably really the reason, but I do not know why communists like glazing North Korea so much. It's such a weird country to be like, look at this success, It's literally just a normal store, probably even looks nicer than the average Western one. These people just look for a conspiracy in anything. Also, I thought communism was when no food. Yes, when North Korean children are 13 centimeters shorter and up to 7 kilograms lighter than children from South Korea, I think the easy conclusion is that they probably don't have enough resources or food to actually feed the people. There's just such a significant height difference and weight difference between these two people, and it goes across the averages. These people fall for like 3 times more propaganda than your average Redditor somehow. It's probably for an opening ceremony or a promo. You have a ceremony for a fucking grocery store? That's how you know your people are done. Do these people not hear themselves? Who the hell has a ceremony for a fucking grocery store? That never happens here in America. I wonder why. It's almost like they're so common that you just don't need to celebrate something like that. Did you know in the evil dictatorship of North Korea, their store clerks take pride in their work and stack shelves neatly? I know, crazy regime, right? You know what? I wonder what would happen if they didn't take pride in their work. Let me hear an employee in North Korea say something like that, and let's see what happens to them. That looks like your average Japanese store. If you didn't tell them it's in the DPRK, it wouldn't even cross their head. In other words, place Japan. Okay, so I typed in average Japanese store, and what do you know? It's almost like the store is actually being used, and you see the products and shit everywhere. Like, I haven't ever seen a North Korean store that doesn't look, you know, anywhere like this, or like the American stores where it's actually being used. Like I said, I guess they could say it's because the population is so low, and I wonder why that is. You know, I would even go as far to say is this probably isn't even food. It's probably just like prop food, because all this is going to expire. Who the hell is going to eat this? People don't use these stores at all. Like I said, I wish North Korea was more open to immigration so that these people can just go live there or something to see how great it is. Then they can report back. Totally a normal and not fucked up thing to say at all. Did you know that one precision strike could cost 350 million Chinese to ching their last Chong? Dude. Oh my god, am I gonna get banned for putting this? I don't care. You can ban me for putting this post in. Oh my god, dude. Ching their last Chong, bro. What are they even saying? Like, this is just a joke. What? Why are they fucking pearl clutching over this? It's obviously a meme. Yankees' coping mechanism is fantasizing about mass murder. The joke is writing itself. What are you talking about, dude? The correct term here is genocide. Why are these people so uptight about a joke? What? I just don't understand. They can shit on people all day long, but someone makes a fucking Asian joke, they just lose their shit over China? How sensitive do you have to be, dude? Like, people make fun of libertarians all the time, and I'm not even close to offended. Like, come on, man. It's obviously a joke. This shit annoys me so much because it's nothing but hot air coming from Americans. Their threats to Three Gorges Dam are nothing but a paper tiger indicating their genocidal intent rather than a proper threat. Yes, they're gonna ching their last Chong. This is a proper threat, guys. No, I'm sorry. This is genocidal intent, not a proper threat, quote unquote. What are you even talking about, dude? I'm not gonna read this whole thing. I guess I'll leave it here, but what? This is a proper crash out right here. Who is this planned economy? Is this guy like an influencer or something? Why are you putting all this effort into this? It's a joke. As a Chinese person, I'm incredibly happy that China has developed to the point where threats like this just reek of desperation from the poster, and Chinese people can just laugh. After all, when your own country is crumbling due to capitalistic idiocracy. Wait, are you saying that China doesn't engage in capitalism at all? Are you retarded? They have one of the biggest markets in the world. It is far from like communist in terms of economy. Like that's how they stayed relevant. That's how they didn't all die off. But okay, this sort of schizo-violent fantasies are all you can do to cope. Yeah, I'm coping right now, bro. I'm just seething. What are you gonna do? Build another dam? Isn't that what communists like brag about? They just love their fucking dams, dude. But anyway, let's move on. This is just one of my favorite posts of all time. I'm just so confused. What are you even talking about? I'm starting to think liberals might not be exactly right in their mind. Hitler giving birth while Stalin baptizes the baby. Holy shit. Why the hell does Stalin have a Nazi patch on and Hitler doesn't? What the fuck is going on here? And he's pouring the water into the... What? You know, if this was before AI, this image would be 100% cursed, and I would probably die tomorrow looking at it. But anyway, I could have gone a whole day without seeing this shit. Thanks, OP. Oh my god, dude, I finally found something that I agree with the communist on. There we go, guys. Now the rapture can finally begin. Using dead-ass cheeks to justify baby murder. Karen Vernikov had just finished her time in the IDF and had just got home from a horse riding trip to South Africa when Hamas attacked on October 7th. She was only 22. My little girl won't come back. I can't hug you. How can I go on? How can I breathe without you? Her mother wept. Okay. I'm sorry, but this has to be a troll, right? There's no way this is real. I think this is just like engagement farming, because what the fuck am I looking at, man? Oh my god, the internet is so porn-brained. Israeli sexual propaganda is a real thing, and I'm not sure how exactly this came to be, but the amount of conventionally attractive Israeli women I've seen doing shit like this is crazy. Either it comes from themselves or people who are sucking up to Israel. Often other people of color. I often see Indian men specifically too, which sucks. Uh-oh, are Indian men gonna fucking save Israel because he saw some ass on Twitter? Is that what the next world war is that how it's gonna begin? You know, a Jew does own Pornhub, so maybe this is some like weird sexual de-escalation method that is some like newfound I don't know, man, dude. It's like fucking 4 a.m. No, it's almost 5 a.m. I'm just making shit up. I don't fucking know what's going on here. Why am I doing this right now? Why am I here? What am I doing? I'm losing my goddamn mind on this subreddit, dude, and if I have to look at Omni-Man cheeks, so do you guys. I am sorry. Let's move on. Oh great, and now we're getting our wisdom from a porn star. Fucking thank you, Mia Khalifa. Shut up, colonizer. I'm not uplifting you and your ban on hijabs just because I'm putting Zionists down. Very simple, you swallow children. Seems slightly less sadistic than killing them. Wait, there's no fucking way Mia Khalifa is pro-life. Do you guys actually believe that? Okay, I just looked it up. She is 100% pro-choice. Everything that she's ever said has been pretty much pro-choice, so you are a fucking hypocrite. Let's move on. Germany to the rest of the world. Sorry, why are you obsessed? Germany to the rest of the world circa 1934. Hey, yo, what are you trying to say here? Well, technically, Gal has a more successful life than yours truly, but still, I simp you more. I don't know, man. I'm happy knowing that Gal Gadot and I have two completely different versions of the meaning for body count that will follow us for the rest of our lives. Oh, okay, Mia Khalifa. What's your definition of body count? What? Does all the porn you did not count? Is that what you're trying to tell me? My wine is older than your apartheid state. You know, I will give it to her. This is her only clever one out of all of these. Good job, Mia. You're 1 for 5. I think that's how many posts we looked at. Girl boss, but like actual and unironic. What a legend. Does sucking cock and being 60% plastic make you a girl boss, guys? Come on. Can we raise the standards just a little? Seems like she indeed never misses. Oh my god, dude. I forgot about that song. That shit was so popular and was all over TikTok for so long. And I remember Belle Delphine also made it a really big thing with her dance or whatever. This may lose me a subscriber or two, but I unironically found that song a pretty good meme song, like, especially compared to the shit we see today, like the skibbity toilet bullshit. No. It was definitely overplayed, but at the time, I thought it was actually pretty funny. Anytime I post something anti-Israel on social media, I get flamed by Zionists, and it makes me not even want to anymore, but I guess that's the goal. Look, I think you should be able to talk about any fucking country. I mean, the US has done a lot of fucked up shit, and we all know it has. Just ask the average American what they think of the CIA. I don't think any country is immune from criticism. And we should definitely keep it that way. You can't make this shit up. Robinhood now limiting people to only buy 1 share of GameStop stock. Ah, the free market at work. Yeah, this was one of the most controversial like financial things to happen in the last like 5 years, I think. I think this should have absolutely crashed and burned Robinhood to the stake, and I cannot believe more backlash didn't happen. Even though it was massive, I think it deserved like 10x more. but this is exactly what life under communism is like. You know what? They wouldn't even have a market to work under. Let's be completely real here. It's much worse. This is quite literally life under capitalism. And what's so ironic about this is that this is like one of the least capitalist things that you can actually do. This is actually one of the finest examples of market manipulation and corporate cronyism to ever be witnessed in like the modern times. In fact, this person should be happy that the people on Wall Street Bets, the subreddit, actually identified what the hedge fund was doing and started fighting back against it. But I wouldn't expect a communist to be economically literate in any type of way, so I don't even know why I'm making these arguments. Let's move on. Sorry, let's not move on. Shouldn't these people be happy that the market manipulation is happy? Isn't that their entire thing? Fucking central planning? Dude, I'm gonna crash. I'm gonna have an aneurysm, man. Every single economics book I read just makes me realize that communists probably just belong in a cage. Sorry, that was a joke. Let's move on before I get banned. Oh my god, dude. This video is fucking crazy. I'm gonna be surprised if I don't get demonetized. Holy shit. Israel is not bad. Israel is a baddie. 18 reasons why Israel is that girl. She's surrounded by drama, but she stays thriving. She's so tiny, and she's not even on Ozempic. She's always in the news. We can't stop talking about her. All these toxic men want her, but can't get her. She's a tech-savvy queen. She's a baddie who can take down countries 75 times her size. She's so spiritual. She loves a woman in power. Losers can't stop gossiping about her. She's been fighting for her life since the day she was born and still be looking this good. Oh my god, dude. I've never seen Israel glaze this hard. I saw this yesterday and it made me want to jump off a cliff. If this is your first time being exposed to this horrible abomination of Zionist propaganda mixed with the most obnoxious possible modern cultural slop, I'm so sorry for the pain I probably just put you through. Dude, this is like anti-propaganda. These people need to learn from wait, where is it? Let me find it real quick. Which one was it? These people, oh god, I didn't need to see it. These people need to learn from this post. I think this is way better propaganda than whatever the fuck this is. Slay queen, but she's slaying tens of thousands of children, hundreds of thousands. I don't even think it's gotten to 100,000. I think it's like at around 40 to 60,000 something people, not like just exclusively children or whatever. Not that I'm defending them or anything. I'm just saying, if it's bad, you don't need to lie about it, because then you're just causing trouble for your own side. This should be considered a war crime for the amount of cringe it is. Holy shit. Second time we agree. Like I said, the rapture is only probably a week away now. Capitalism encourages people to produce more and get better jobs. What do you want to be when you grow up? Astronaut for China, UK vlogger/YouTuber, and US vlogger/YouTuber. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think these are probably better jobs. Let's be completely honest compared to an astronaut. I mean, have you seen how much money successful vloggers and YouTubers make? If we're talking solely financial, I think the potential in terms of money being made is way, way higher. But also, this poll is kind of dumb. I mean, isn't China doing a big space exploration thing culturally now? I feel like if we asked this when we were in the space race with the USSR, we probably would have gotten the answer for astronaut as well. And also, there's a big conglomerate, or not conglomerate, sorry, just a big group of people. Sorry, you can tell my mind is melting. I don't even mean group of people, but there's a large majority of people who do want to be vloggers in fucking China. There's literally rows and rows of them. I saw it on an Asmongold video recently. There's a lot of people trying to be one of these two things. So I'm not saying the poll is wrong or anything, but it's not just us. And I think when kids think of a dream job, they're not thinking of menial labor, or a cashier or stalker or something like that. And let's be completely honest, astronauts aren't necessarily contributing to society any more than a vlogger or a YouTuber is. I would argue it's probably cooler, but it's definitely not as useful as a farmer or something, but all three of these jobs. But anyway, let's get to your comments. When you can literally make more money plugging useless products in front of a camera than you do helping to produce and distribute food or medicine. Yes, welcome to the free market. And also, most people don't actually make that much money doing this. Yes, there are some people who make a ridiculous amount, but like it's really far less people than you think that actually do quote unquote succeed doing stuff like this. And I know social media will make it seem like everybody is doing it and succeeding, but that's really just not the case. I just looked it up and it's only about 2 to 5% of creators that even make $2,000 a month, and even less it's 0.3% that make $5,000 or more. So even if you do want to do it, you still need a combination of skill and luck to actually make it in the algorithm, and which is why I'm extremely lucky that I get to do this and have fun with you guys every single day, or hopefully every single day. You know, I know that hasn't been true recently, but we're gonna get there, trust me. I'm always thinking about you guys in the channel. Don't think you're forgotten. I'm always thinking of new content and ideas. I just really need to put it into action. To be honest, it's more realistic to become a YouTuber than an astronaut. That is also true. The bar is so much lower. That is 100% correct. I'm glad this guy pointed that out. Judging people's worth by their dream job is literal bullshit. Who cares if kids want to be a YouTuber? Being an astronaut doesn't make you a better person. That's also true. I do think in part though, it reflects society's values a little, even though who wouldn't want to work from home, you know, and just make content that makes you happy, right? And there's a lot of influencers who do get really big just doing their job and showing people what their job is like. And I find that really cool. Like the lawn care people, the construction people, like the ancient tool people. There's a lot of really unique professions out there that I had no idea about until I saw their YouTube channel. So congrats to them, finding success in 2 areas. But if there's one valid critique, it's that our celebrities are fucking retarded, and I don't think anyone should be looking up to them other than like their actual skill or profession. They should not be fucking worshipped. Like, these people suck most of the time. Alright, here's our favorite lesbian, least sociopathic centrist, Destiny. Maybe the kids weren't fit for camping near a river if they couldn't swim. Oh my god, dude, this reminds me of a tweet that he made. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, I couldn't find the tweet, but it was basically this picture with a caption, and I'm not gonna lie, I did laugh. I know you are 3,000% a prick and an absolute shitbag if you post something like this, especially so soon after it happens. But it had a caption that was funny, and I will admit I did laugh. Even though I think Destiny is a massive piece of shit, we both have similar dark humor, and I just I have my hands on my face right now because oh my god, dude. Oh, I'm fucking broken. Please help me. This tweet obviously makes him look like a massive retard and cunt, but that one before that I wish I could find. It did make me laugh, unfortunately. I do have a love-hate relationship with Destiny though, because even though we disagree on a lot of things, I do think he is a content farm, and that is something we must all appreciate him for. This man makes content sometimes. Either he's being laughed at, or sometimes he absolutely cooks someone that I don't like. And you know what? That is why I love the internet, baby. Just because you don't like someone doesn't mean they can't produce content. But anyway, let's move on. Stephen King. The Epstein client list is real. So is the Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus. Isn't this the same guy that wrote a book about a bunch of kids fucking each other in a sewer? Why does anyone take his opinion seriously? And it's it that I'm talking about. Stephen King is definitely on the list. Atheists being incredibly insufferable as usual, difference of about 2,000 years. And this is someone wearing, I think, a full burqa, and this looks just like your average American woman. I know the average American woman is fat, so I guess not exactly average, but you know what I mean. I know most of us are atheists in here, well, including me, but this thing makes me want to punch them in the face. I mean, are they wrong? Like, even if she chose to wear this, the difference is that she doesn't have a choice either way, you know? If you're this traditional and this extreme about it, you don't have a say. You're gonna get punished if you don't do this. But let's let the comments enlighten us, okay? Whenever I see stuff like this, I remember that one comic of a woman wearing a burqa walking past a woman wearing a bikini, and each is looking at the other one thinking, what a cruel male-dominated culture. Ah yes, because we're absolutely forcing women to wear bikinis for religious reasons. There's definitely no difference between these two situations. Like, seriously, if you just think about these two situations, you have to be retarded not to see, like, the very clear distinction between them. Like, you can make judgments or critiques about the over-sexualization of, Western culture, and I would be on board with that. But at the same time, you cannot say that these two women are making, like, equivalent choices. Like, that's just not what's going on. Do they do this when they see Catholic nuns? I mean, you know the answer. And guess what? I don't have to fall for this retardation. I think the same can apply to Catholic nuns. Call me based, alright? But one thing I can say is that there's obviously a difference between the cultures and the countries that you live in, that if you do happen to go against like the traditional values of that culture or country, that there's different, social penalties for it. And I would much rather be a nun, let's just say, than whatever this is. I really never understood why lefties and liberals praise Islam so much and then like completely dunk on Christianity. Like, do we not see any sort of like problem or hypocrisy with this? Like, do you know what happens in these regions when this religion is taken very seriously? I'm sorry, but my pattern recognition just kicks in immediately when I look at all of these countries and, how they turn out. Not saying every Muslim is bad or anything. I actually like a lot of parts of their culture, but you gotta drop the whole theocratic thing, the theocracy and government thing. It's just so corrosive. And I think way too many 13-year-olds are marrying 50-year-olds. Like, we gotta address that, please. Do it for the children. This person is also a Zionist. What a shocker. Your local anti-communist trans girl strikes again. You are not our allies. Communism is a failed ideology, sorry not sorry. Death is a preferable alternative to communism. I don't know about you, but I like eating food and looking pretty. I owe my rights to the work of liberals and Democrats. LGBTQ plus lives have only ever been improved under liberalism. More trans fighter pilots. Holy shit, dude. This person has a lot of enemies, let me tell you. This person pretty much only has one group of friends. This crossover episode is fucking nuts. Image so absurd it almost reads like satire. That's actually what I was thinking. I really can't tell, but I'll believe it just for the meme. This was probably the worst thing I've ever seen. As someone in the queer community, I am trans and also bi. It's upsetting to see how many queer people think that only capitalism can give them the freedom they want. A lot of people just can't imagine a better world, I guess. Yeah, a better world, quote unquote. An embarrassing amount of people are also upset that trans and other queer people can't be in the military in the US. And I'm just like, why would any trans person serve the empire and kill people? It's just so upsetting to see. Bro, you know that like most people, and I mean like 99.99% of people in the military haven't killed a single person in their life, right? Not every job is just, here's a rifle, go kill, the brown person. Is that really what you think the military is? I'm not a fan of like the foreign wars or whatever either, but you have to be incredibly short-sighted or just completely clueless to not know what like the majority of the military does. It's generally just a public service. Very few soldiers actually see combat, but let's move on. If you were expecting me to take you seriously, you had your hopes too high. I'm not entertaining commies after a 12-hour shift. Bro, how the fuck do you endure a 12-hour shift and still favor capitalism? Yes, guys, nobody has ever worked a 12-hour shift in a communist country, alright? I miss when Stalin gave me 4-day weekends, bro. Can we get that back? Imagine being a Persona fan and being in favor of capitalism. Wasn't like the only popular game to ever come out of like a communist country fucking Tetris? Is Persona like free for comrades? Am I missing something here? Where are all the communists making games as like complex as Persona or any modern video game? It's funny how none of them exist. That is sadly a good example of the system working. If the average citizen is too worn out from their long and arduous workday, they will never have time nor the energy to learn of a better way. I know, this guy should have been doing something more productive, like picking grains of rice off the ground from the fucking food collection cart that just left their town for redistribution. History of US presidents. Wow, yes, the only thing that was relevant is that they were white, I guess. Or in this case, yellow. These people didn't do anything significant. They were just born white. And then I guess Joe Biden got glasses or something. I don't know. I've never seen this shirt or anything like it before, but I kind of wish I didn't. This is unfathomably retarded, but let's look at the comments, I guess. I'm seeing nothing but slavers and war criminals. Of course you are. You see, guys, didn't you know Redditors were immune from being influenced from their environment? So if you put them at any point in history and, you know, they just started over, they definitely would have been the most moral and righteous people on Earth. Why don't we just put Redditors in charge so they can make all the most morally correct decisions, especially the communist ones? Imagine thinking Andrew Jackson as a proud patriot, liberals truly the cringest creature ever crawled the earth. You know, I actually really like Andrew Jackson. You know, I think he did some horrible things, but I think he did some really incredible things too, especially for the economy. He was the only president ever to eliminate the national debt, which I think is a fucking miracle. Oh my god. We need to resurrect this man and have him look at where our debt is today. Maybe he would have a solution since he was the only one to accomplish it. Or he'd just have a heart attack and die again. The symbol of rampant consumerism on Marx's grave. There's a Labubu on Karl Marx's grave, and there it is. But how fucking unemployed do you have to be to put flowers on this fucker's grave? Oh my lord. I need to see the faces of the people who did this. This is one of the most diabolical images I've ever seen. Maybe I'll post it on the channel just to see what other people think, but holy shit. This has been quite the subreddit. Labubu as a symbol of consumerism was sacrificed to Marx to appease him. Fool, that is Comrade Labubu. It has discovered the purpose of its existence and seeks to correct the damage its creators have done to society. This Labubu has dedicated itself to the liberation of the working class. I am at a loss for words, man, but at least these people can have a little fun. But I think that's gonna be it. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching the video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get on to the patrons. Thank you to our 2 new base certified members, Georgia Walser and Sam Naga. And, well, I'm Korean and it's spelled E-A-G-A. Well, tell me, is it Niaga? Okay, I'm just gonna stop now before I get in trouble. Thank you to the rest of our base gods, base legends, super based, and base certified members. And I will see you guys Tuesday. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry for the little leave of absence. This came up really suddenly, but hopefully I will be back and in high spirits, high energy, and we can just get right back to making content. But anyway, I will see you guys later. Peace.